The Heat led Charlotte by 17 points, but down to just 1 point in the fourth quarter. Then, Miles Bridges pulls ahead with the triple, so they run a play for Tyler Hero. But not only does he miss, but Bam missed the putback. Where is this team's closer? Oh yeah, he's in Golden State. So while the Heat blew a huge lead to the third worst team in the NBA, Jimmy's Warriors beat that team by 36 points. And to make things worse, the Heat are now the worst fourth quarter team in the NBA, outscored by 82 in the final quarter and blown 15 fourth quarter leads. And it's not just good teams, they are broken mentally. Jimmy's value goes way beyond just stats at this point, obviously. So should they tank? No. Tanking would make this nightmare a lot worse. Why? Well, very few people have mentioned the trap the Heat find themselves in. But right now, the Heat expect to lose these games, right? I mean, no matter how big the lead is or how bad the other team is, they find a way to lose. Against the Bulls, for example, Chicago got anything they wanted in the fourth. Miami went 1 for 11 from downtown, even getting good looks from guys like Hero and Duncan Robinson. The reason they are traumatized by the Butler divorce. And that's not even mention the Terry Rozier mess. I mean, the other night against Cleveland, it looked like Terry forgot how to play basketball. He was 0 for 8 in the second half with 3 bonehead turnovers. Overall, this is his worst season since his second year of the league when nobody knew who Terry Rozier was. But I was a huge collector as a kid. No joke, just found some of my old comic book cards in the garage. Such a great moment. Right before you open your pack, you could pull anything. And now with slab packs from my new sponsor, ArenaClub.com, I can relive that feeling anytime with basketball too. I'm actually going to open a basketball pack right now, so you can buy and rip real packs all on your computer. Plus, possible to score gem mints for a fraction of the retail price. Arena Club's the only repack that provides real value, a complete view of all possible cards, and clear hit rates for each one. Every time you rip a slab pack, Arena Club will make an instant offer for your card. So let's open my Ruby pack right now. Here it comes. Mark Williams, baby. Probably would have been worth a little bit more if he had been traded to the Lakers, but I'll take it. And the offer that I get, $225, not bad. Plus, if I would have gotten the Grail for this one, a LeBron card worth up to $10K. Now, I immediately put my cards in my vault for safekeeping or trading and selling, and you can have them officially graded by Arena Club. They'll tell you exactly how they came up with your grade. So you've got to try this out right now. You can get 20% off your first slab pack or card purchase by going to arenaclub.com/AMHoops and use code AMHoops. But when they got him at the deadline last year, Terry had a career-high 23 points a game, 4 boards, 7 assists. Now terrible. I mean, somebody cut together some lowlights from the other night. Tell me this doesn't look like somebody who literally forgot how to play basketball. This dude used to be out dueling Jalen Brunson in a Heat uniform, dropping 34 points against the Knicks. But then the NBA announced that Terry's being investigated for illegally fixing games, and the punishment for that is a lifetime ban from basketball. That has got to be in his head. I mean, the best part about the Miami Heat season at this point literally is Kevin Love's social media. Dude has classics like, hey, a great way to fix the All-Star weekend is let the majority of the NBA know that Mac McClung has won 3 straight dunk contests during Black History Month. Angel Reese wants to be a billionaire. Kevin's like, yeah, I'm gonna take the under. Or when somebody asked me how effed our second half was last night. Amazing. But what about Jimmy? Oh, he is playing great. I mean, as soon as he got to Golden State, he lifted up several role players, took pressure off Steph's shoulders, and now they are 13-2 since trading for Jimmy. Not just beating teams, dominating. 8 of those wins are by double digits with a top 5 offense and defense. But to make things worse, Miami is now leaking stories about Jimmy, just like the Mavs were doing to Luka.
The relief in that building that Jimmy Butler is gone, not just because of what's happened over the last couple of months, they felt like they were dealing with something, and they were not saying this publicly in any way, an unstable ingredient that they used as a furnace and fuel to get to the championship. And then when it became about money problems, nobody wanted to be at work around this person who was an unstable element.
What does that even mean? He was an unstable ingredient, that they just used to get to the NBA Finals. You mean he drug you to the NBA Finals twice? How arrogant do the Heat have to be to think of a great player like that? Oh, we just used him. No, you mean you need him. Jimmy has now exposed how mediocre of a roster Miami actually has. I mean, when you look at it, outside of getting the 1 seed a couple years ago, the Heat are mostly just a play-in team. This dude raised them to a new level, and they treat him like this on his way out. And to be clear, okay, Jimmy wanted a max contract into like his age 39 season. Yes, that's a big risk, but what other choice do they have? I mean, what is the path back to being a contender? Well, Tankathon.com says that the Heat have a 9.4% chance of going top 4 in this draft, a 2% chance of going number 1. So the quickest route to a star is Cooper Flagg, Dylan Harper, Ace Bailey. But there's a problem with that. First, getting lucky in the draft isn't actually a plan, okay? They're more likely to pick like 8th or 9th, even if they lose all the rest of their games. But also, if they miss the playoffs, it sets off a deadly chain of events. See, the Thunder own a Heat lottery-protected first-round pick this year. So if they miss the playoffs, cool, Miami gets to keep their pick. But if that happens, it unlocks 2 unprotected first-round picks in the future. OKC would get Miami's unprotected in 2026, and Charlotte gets Miami's unprotected in 2028 if they miss the playoffs. So miss the playoffs and give up your future for a hope of getting Cooper Flagg, yeah right, or make the playoffs and then they're free and clear. Now you might be saying, okay, I get it, but how did that happen? Well, first of all, the lottery protected 2025 pick to OKC coming up, it becomes unprotected in 2026 if it doesn't convey. That part is obvious. But they also own a lottery protected pick to Charlotte in 2027. And since you cannot trade picks in back-to-back years, that Charlotte pick then becomes unprotected in 2028. But none of that even matters if they can somehow land a superstar. They're one of the few markets that big names actually want to play for. It's like LA, New York, and Miami. That's it. We already know Kevin Durant is open to playing for the Heat, but an even better player might be too. But first, let's talk about Durant, okay? One trade package that Bobby Marks suggested is the Heat get KD, Suns get Andrew Wiggins, Jaime Jaquez or Nikola Jovic, whoever they want, a first-round pick, and a third team gets Duncan Robinson. Now with this, the Heat get to keep all their core players, including Hero and Bam Adebayo, but one problem I see is Durant's leadership. And I don't want to overrate this, but we've seen how a lack of leadership really affects the Heat, right? I mean, Jimmy's culture is like, we're a hardworking team, we win no matter what. What is KD? I mean, the man is famous for saying, yeah, I just want to hoop, I'm not a leader. Is that what the Heat need? I mean, this team's broken mentally. KD might make that worse. So other names that people are mentioning are like a Zion Williamson or a Trae Young. But then we got a banger. Anthony Edwards made a very interesting decision after the All-Star game. He got in a plane and could have trained anywhere in the world, okay? LA, Las Vegas, wherever. He chose Miami, not only South Beach, but in the Heat's practice facility. Then he goes and posts it on social media like he wants people to speculate. And not only that, but people noticed a Bam Adebayo jersey in Ant's locker after a recent game. Yeah, the two won a gold medal together with Eric Spoelstra as an assistant coach who loves him. But it's probably just a coincidence. I mean, are the Heat gonna get Ant anytime soon? No, of course not. But there is a slim chance that this man ends his career at Minnesota. And the Heat are obviously a top pick for his next team. But that's how bad it's gotten for the Miami Heat right now after Jimmy Butler. They are speculating on another team's best player who's under contract for years, as if that's their only hope post-Jimmy. But things are somehow even worse in the WNBA, okay? Their entire league could shut down. Angel Reese just leaked that the W players might go on strike if they don't get more money. But there's one thing about the WNBA Angel Reese doesn't understand. And it's not that Caitlin Clark is actually the reason that they're popular, okay? She didn't want to admit that. But the other thing she doesn't get could actually kill the WNBA for good.